And our coverage begins in North Africa, where massive rebellion and international condemnation has Libyan leader Moammar Gadhafi tightening his grip in Tripoli. This comes as anti-regime forces consolidate their control of the eastern half of the country. With the escalating violence, the United States, Egypt, Britain, Jordan and other nations are trying to evacuate their citizens from that country.
As Wednesday dawned, Gaddafi's vicious crackdown had driven protesters from the streets of Tripoli, where residents described scenes of erratic shooting and bodies littering the streets. Colonel Gaddafi spoke Tuesday in a televised speech.
I'm paying the price of staying here. My grandfather is Abdussalam Bominyar, the first martyr in Coms, in the first battle of 1911. I cannot bring shame to this great ancestry. I cannot leave my grandfather's grave in Marhaba. I shall die as a martyr beside him in the end.
Following Gaddafi's speech, thousands of his supporters spilled into the city's central green square, wearing green bandanas and brandishing large machetes. Anti-government protesters went into seclusion and did not venture out of their homes after dark. Tripoli residents described a rampage by pro-Gaddafi militiamen, a mix of Libyans and foreign mercenaries who shot on sight anyone found in the streets, spraying crowds with machine gun fire from speeding vehicles.
The members of the Security Council expressed grave concern at the situation in Libya. They condemned the violence and use of force against civilians, deplored the repression against peaceful demonstrators, and expressed deep regret at the death of hundreds of civilians. They called for an immediate end to the violence and for steps to address the legitimate demands of the population, including through national dialogue.
Human Rights Watch is observing Libya closely and says it has received reports of at least 62 deaths in Tripoli since Sunday. Prior to Sunday, the group reported 233 people had been killed, mostly in the country's eastern provinces. Opposition groups say the death toll is much higher. Meanwhile, a growing number of eastern cities are effectively declaring their independence, setting up informal opposition governments.